Hello universe, it is Josh with you once again. That's internet code name Space Boot 1. Playing a little Minecraft with you. As you can see, I felt like playing on the new snapshot. And this video is going to be, do you hear the car in the background? This video is just going to be a few reactions to what I find. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, I'm not going to actually like play here, but I'm just going to have a look around and just have a, just see. Okay, so this, nothing new here. This is, and I'm going to play in creative, so, whee, I'm flying. I don't know how much flying I'm going to do, probably a lot. Yes, we know these trees well enough, and we know this sort of terrain because we've seen this terrain before. I think in the current version of the game, or I guess 1.6, the last version, this sort of biome would have been all snowy, but there have been versions in the past when this has been clear like this. These didn't used to be here, but I mean these ferns, and here's a big fern, and if I use my middle mouse button on it there, I get it in my hotbar, and there it is. I'm swinging it around. Yeah, large fern. I can plant it down again. I can walk through it, so that's kind of cool. Oh, there's a little cave right here. Caves are nothing new. Oh, and we have wolves. Okay, that's good to know. Wolves spawn in this biome. And of course spiders. I don't think anything really has changed underground, although you never know, right? These flowers are different, and I've already made a couple of complaint posts on the forums about how I don't like these flowers. I mean, I like the poppies. I think they're good. I'm very glad that poppies are in the game. The problem is they take the place of the rose. So there's a dandelion and a poppy, but the rose is gone completely. So I think that's kind of the wrong way to do things. When you add content, you shouldn't have to delete stuff that you already had and stuff that you were enjoying playing with. But anyways, that's a small quibble. The new terrain, it's hard to tell in creative, obviously, because I'm flying over it. I don't think this is new. This sort of mountain in the middle of a forest is kind of what we always had. I think the oceans are smaller, which another change I'm not especially happy with. But in the reality, it's probably not going to affect me that much because how often do I go and do ocean travel videos? Well, I've done a few, and I may do a few more. So it will affect me a little bit. I won't have my giant oceans to explore, and you won't be able to find as many mushroom biomes, which is unfortunate because I did enjoy doing that. So that's sort of out of the question now. But I suppose I can probably mod the terrain back to large oceans somehow. It's probably doable with just a small variable change. But I should skip a little bit because, yeah. Okay, I think this is a little bit of a change here. Do you see in front of me? It's actually a bit hard to see, but there is a jungle temple here, and it's actually buried in the sand, and I think that's really cool. That's quite a nice little detail, little change. Is there going to be a door there? Yeah. I don't need to go in. I don't think anything inside has changed, but yeah. But yeah, these used to be very much on the surface, and now they can be kind of buried like that, which I think is pretty cool. The other thing about deserts is I just noticed, because I happen to see some of this kind of stone here. You won't see this kind of stone in deserts. You won't see it on the surface because anything above ground level is going to be sandstone like this. That, back in the day, it would have been like several layers of this, and then 3 layers of sandstone, and then sand on top. But now it's all sandstone, and I didn't mind, like that didn't bother me before, but I can see how it would bother some people, and I don't mind the change either. Like, I think the change is fine. Normal desert. We don't have my special cactuses. I always, every time I undo my mod in order to do a snapshot video, I always miss my cactuses. I really have to work on those. Okay, skipping ahead. And here's something else. I've flown way up into the air. I'm still not far from where I just was, and I just thought I'd test out the snow. And I was thinking that this would be a colder biome, so there would be snow, but the snow starts about here, and I don't think the terrain for that forest is ever going to generate this high. I don't think. And then, yeah, you see I'm sort of in a transitional area between snow and rain. If I fly up a little bit higher, then it'll be all snow, and down a little bit lower, it'll be all rain, and I'm right in the clouds here too. So yeah, now you can see it's completely rain. So that's fine. And then the next thing, like, I wanted to check out the borders, because I know that, oh, here, let's turn off the rain now that I've done fall. Okay. Derpy typing. Okay, anyways. It should turn off. Yep, it's turning off. So I still think this might be a small biome, but a cold biome, small biome, cold biome. And then that's why I find it odd that it generates next to a desert, because the desert is supposed to be the warm biome, but I guess there have to be borders between warm and cold. And then here we have some interesting terrain. We have a creeper, of course, and I think this is normal. Yeah, this like regular hardened clay, and then there's some dyed versions of it up here. So I think this is kind of the right direction, but I'm not sure if this looks, you know, it doesn't quite look natural. It looks a little odd. But I think it's going in the right direction, and I think whether or not it looks realistic, it still looks cool. So I'm saying positive things about that. Dead shrubs. Yes. This is actually rather small. Like, I was expecting bigger versions of this. And of course I'm playing on normal sized biomes, so I can... Oh, here, this is interesting. Look at this. Look at this. There's hardened clay underwater. You see that? I don't know how well you can see that, but that is definitely hardened clay. And it's all along the shore here. I'm going to dive in. Can't see much. The floor of the ocean is all gravel, which I'm not really too much in favor of. I guess it's not that big a deal because I don't go in the ocean too often, but I kind of preferred the old ocean floor. It was you know, it was a patchwork. I know it was like a little bit ugly, but I don't know, I like it to be a little bit varied. This is cool. I like this little like grotto. It seems out of place, but I think it looks really cool. But you wouldn't expect, yeah, you wouldn't expect something like that, I don't think, but either way. Reeds are a different color. I think I prefer the old reeds, but this is not too bad. There's more gravel patches in the world too now, which makes me happy because I always like getting gravel. I need it for making all my roads and stuff. Still not too happy with the gravel texture since, oh, I don't know, I think it was 1.0 or even earlier that they changed it. But that's an old thing. Oh, let's look over here. I guess the most visible change in this update would be all the new flowers. And this is kind of cool. Like, this is a new biome, although it's pretty much the same as plains, except that it grows sunflowers, and they're sort of everywhere. So that's cool. The one problem with the sunflowers is, yeah, they're cool, but they face, they all face the same way. So if you encounter this biome from this side, it's like you barely even see them, or you're like, oh, what are those green things? And you come around and, oh, then, magic. It's sunflowers. So I don't know how much. I mean, that's not too bad of a thing, I guess. Yeah, it's like you don't even see all the sunflowers on this side, and then you go this way, and then poof, color. I don't know, maybe that's a good thing. Maybe. And we have over here some pretty massive hills, and my suspicion with these is that they're not necessarily supposed to be this huge. Well, this is not too big, although this one goes up to cloud level. Oh, there's another big one. Yeah, these are going to possibly climb right up into the sky. And, I mean, this is fun and all. But I don't think Minecraft was intended to have, not even this new version, I don't think it was intended to have these giant savanna mountains. And you would think if there was going to be giant mountains, the place to put them would be in extreme hills, like have a super extreme one. But this is cool because this is like something you might have seen in The Lion King or something like that. It's the African, maybe Ethiopian highlands or something like that. So it's definitely cool, but I don't know if it should be this high and this extreme. But yeah, it works. There's slightly different shaped trees here too, but let me see. The wood is just the old jungle wood, and the leaves are oak leaves. So it's kind of a mix of other trees. So there's a possibility that Jeb might put in like a unique wood for some of these or whatever, or he might not. He might just leave them because I think they look fine with the jungle wood and the oak leaves combined. But also, I mean, it looks, this whole biome, like it's supposed to be very African. It's the savanna, right? So and yet you have your typical European cows. So I kind of hope that they keep the cows and the sheep and the chickens and everything, but I suspect they look so out of place here. I suspect we're going to get some more savanna type animals like wildebeests and giraffes. I think that's coming. I think I'll make that a prediction. It's not that I necessarily want wildebeests and giraffes or hippopotamuses. Wouldn't it be great if there was a hippopotamus in this river? It's not necessarily that I want them, although I mean it would be cool. I would enjoy seeing them. I can do without them, but it's my prediction that I think they'll get added in. Oh, and this is kind of cool. Like, look at these. You get these massive cascading rivers down these mountains and then landing in these rivers. This river too, generally this looks okay, but there have been a few rivers that generate oddly. Maybe this is one. They just seem out of place. Well, this one seems, this river like climbs up and then out and then look at this. This is river biome here, right? Whoosh. Yeah. Wow, I could explore some of this stuff. Like, I could, there's caves and there's like little, I don't know what that is, like a grotto or something like that. Or yeah, it's definitely something I could see myself wanting to live in, a survival world like this. Okay, and I just wanted to stop for a second. I was flying over this ocean, and I just wanted to note that it's probably pretty big enough. If you can find an area in the ocean in which you can stand in the middle and not see land, That might be big enough. I mean, I kind of wish for bigger oceans, but at least this would let you build, you know, your whatever ocean build you want to build, and like have it look nice. A couple chunks in the corners are not loaded yet, but otherwise completely ocean, like for as far as the eye can see. Okay, and then here I'm just coming off that big ocean, and we got some look like, you know, very interesting coves and stuff. I think this is stuff that Minecraft basically already had, but I just think it looks cool. This will be a birch forest because all I see is the birch trees. I don't see any of the other kinds of trees. So, not that I feel like Minecraft really needed a separate biome for only birch. Like, I don't see the point. I mean, it looks nice enough. It looks fine enough. Yeah, that's good. There is a new flower here. Let's just have a look. I haven't actually gone through the... Well, I've gone through the creative menu, like, sort of on my own, but... There we go, pick it up. It is a peony, I guess. And it plants just like so. I think there's a chunk error in the side of that mountain way off in the distance, but... Okay, yeah, I think I've had enough of the birch forest. That's not... I think there's like 2 or 3 different kinds of flowers will generate in most biomes. Looks like one tried to generate on top of the gravel and it popped off. And we have our chickens. No new mobs in this biome. Here's something I wanted to look at though. This is Extreme Hills, and it looks more jagged and more like I don't know. It definitely looks more extreme and more like varied, I guess, than it used to. Like they used to have. I mean, actually, the mountains have always been pretty kind of outlandish, you know, and unrealistic and fun. Like really, to be honest, they've always been kind of fun like this. But I think that they've been amped up a little bit in terms of just the sheer variety. There's a lot more stone and, you know, exposed stone in here, which I think works for peaks, but in the case of like down here, you're practically, well, you're basically at sea level there. I think that's actually a stone cliff, but over here, like, you're not that high up. Like, I would have thought that something like this should probably be grass, but yeah, I guess it's either way is fine. If I was gonna actually do a build here, I might want the stone for some reason, or I might, you know, it might be useful for a quarry to have the stone like right accessible. And it's not like this sort of thing didn't exist in Minecraft before. It was just not quite so prevalent. And you have some dirt patches, which yeah, I would probably grow grass on in survival just because I prefer if there's grass there. I mean, this looks kind of cool. This is a little waterfall coming out of, I don't know what that is, but and I haven't commented on the snow or the trees, but I think that's a cool development. The snow might be, people have been saying it might not be high enough. It's hard to say. The world, I wish the Minecraft world was higher in general, because, you know, that's like, what, 30 meters off the ground? I can even check here. Let's F3. What is my Y coordinate? 84. So I'm basically 20 meters above sea level, and already we have snow. And then, well, but then the fact is the clouds are only at 125, so 60 or so above sea level. 60 meters up, you have clouds and, yeah, and snow and everything. But I mean, it's definitely cool, and it looks good. It looks like a kind of a fantasy world, you know, a fantasy world with snow-capped mountains and stuff, despite the fact that it's not actually that high. And these trees look like your standard boreal trees that they used to have in the boreal forest, and now they're up in the mountains. And then I like this kind of like, what is it? Like a copse of trees, I guess. Does this even, it might even be a special biome. It just says Extreme Hills Plus. And this says Extreme Hills. Extreme Hills Plus. I think that just means it has trees. Extreme Hills Plus. Why did it change here? Oh, the LC. I don't know what LC is at the moment. I probably know, but I just can't remember. Moving on. As you can see, horses are still a part of the game. They still generate in plains. I don't think they generate in the savannah, because we flew over the savannah, we didn't see any horses, and I think that makes sense. Oh, and there's this kind of flower. Let's see if I can pick it up. Azure Bluette, which generates in the plains. So horses and Azure Bluettes. Alright, and here's something else that's been added. The the spam forest is what I call it. Just spammed with flowers. Oh, we're getting some slow world generation. Spammy spam, just flowers everywhere. Now, I don't mind this too much because it's only one biome and it's fairly limited in scope. But I always thought that like just the flowers just everywhere seemed a little bit, I don't know, a little bit much. A little bit too busy. But I guess it's fine if it's just, you know, just the one biome, and you know, just I can avoid this biome if I really want. Yeah, and I don't like it, but like I wouldn't want to live in with all these tulips and stuff. And also like kind of the tulips and everything, and the roses, they look like the domesticated varieties. Like all of these look like flowers that would grow in somebody's garden. And I sort of, you know, when I want to, I kind of want like a wild flower meadow or something like that, you know, in for me to encounter in the game. What I want to find is something that's that looks more wild, and this looks, well, I mean, it does look wild in a way, but it also looks, yeah, it doesn't, I don't like it. I don't like this one. I'm sorry, Jeb. This is not so good. But at least it was interesting. At least it was something to look at. So that's all right. This is a flower I haven't really like looked at. I mean, I don't really care. Allium, like, yeah, it's a purple. Looks like a bit of cotton candy or something. So I don't care. Oh, this is neat. This is something I haven't seen before. Just a giant pile of gravel. I am very happy about that because that would provide me with lots of material for roads and other things. So yes, please, gravel, please. I like it. Is this a different biome too? This is just Extreme Hills, but apparently, yeah, it has this feature, which is pretty good. Oh, sorry, vehicles going by in the background. This is some good generation. I think it's typical of the Extreme Hills too. It's like, you know, here we have our forest down below with a river meandering through, and you know, another river feeding it. Looks very nice. Another river there, and then we have the snowy mountains kind of looking over all of it. It'd be very cool to build like a cabin in the forest here and just, you know, have that background, and definitely looks good. And these are nice. Like there's some cliffs and stuff, but they're also fairly consistent. Like they look like, you know, good solid mountains, good stuff that you could, you know, hike up or whatever. Of course, we have the obligatory Minecraft lava there. This is kind of cool. It met there and it made some cobblestone. Now here, I think this is my favorite part of the update, and that's a medium level compliment because growly truck outside. The update, I definitely have positive feelings about a lot of it. But this is probably one of the better parts of it. I just like the way the swamp looks. Maybe that might be too many lily pads. I'm not sure. But anyways, I like the way that the terrain generates here. Just very, and like, you know, sort of like you can if you're actually at ground level, what you're doing is you're wandering around, you're jumping, and you're having fun. And yeah, this is very fun terrain, good for gameplay, good for looks, good for everything. And of course I love this new flower, and I think it fits in very well with the, there, we'll pick it up, it's a blue orchid. I think it goes very well with the swamp. Although if I recall correctly, like, don't orchids grow on or in trees? Like, shouldn't it be up here or something? Or no, it doesn't go on the side of a tree anyways. But yeah, I always thought orchids grew on trees. But that's fine. Maybe there's like, imagine there's like a rotting log underneath here. Let me see. Let's get some, what colored logs? Lighter color. Grab those. So maybe there's like, well, it doesn't, now it doesn't go on top. Jeb, I think that's another job for you. You need to make these plant on wood. Anyways, very cool. Still have mushrooms. That's all good. The shades are a little bit different in this one. You see it transitions from sort of that a slightly more brown green to a slightly more bluish almost, and of course the reeds. I kind of still prefer the old color, but nothing wrong with these. I think these kind of blend in better, and I'm not sure if that's what I want from the swamp. I kind of enjoyed things popping out, but I guess in order, like, we have a new flower to pop out, and that's this blue orchid. Blue orchid. Just overall, I'm quite happy with the way the swamp is. I was hoping to see a witch hut, but I mean, that's, a witch hut is kind of old content, so it's not like I need to see it, but kind of hoping I would. I think, I mean, it's not like they've been erased or anything like that, but yeah, fly across. And here's another biome, another one. We're bordering a swamp, so I think we're talking a warm client biome. But these are, well, let's see what. They're spruce wood trees, but they're thick. They're 4x4, and they have these thick branches. And let's see, the name of the biome is a roofed forest, and I'm not really sure why. I guess these trees do sort of connect and form a roof, but obviously there are areas where you can see out just fine. So I don't know. I guess it's roofed. I mean, yeah, I'll take it. I'll take it as a poetic description of the forest. And of course, there are giant mushrooms. Definitely something that we didn't see too much of in previous versions of the game, except, you know, there was a whole biome for mushrooms, but those are hard to find, and they're going to be especially rare in the near future, like with this update, because I doubt you'll be able to find mushroom biomes almost anywhere. But there it is. Yes, indeed. Giant mushroom. And the roofed forest. And I guess light levels down here get low enough that zombies can spawn, or, like, you know, any monster. Oops. Any monster that can spawn at night, or in the dark, I should say, can spawn here. I'm just staring at my screen here. Okay. I'm not sure if it goes off of sunlight or skylight. Oh, here. Okay, here we have something pretty dark. Oh, because it's getting dark. Let's go back to the daytime. I guess, yeah, okay, yeah, light level is low enough for monsters to spawn there. And of course at night it's very easy for monsters to survive in this forest, because you don't have to go very far, no matter where you are, to get some good decent cover. Let's just have a look at this pig in a treehouse. Yeah, I let him out, but now I don't know if that helped. Anyways, let's see. I guess we'll move on, see what we find next. Oh, and this, I think this is actually like a problem with the roofed forest, is that these trees generate with a square of dirt underneath them. So I think that looks bad. I think what they should do is I think Minecraft trees should have had roots, like, you know, all along, but they should basically extend 2 or 3 or 5 or 6 even blocks into the ground so that trees are clearly rooted, and then you don't have this problem. So like if I were to do this, oops, not that, that, and then even like just have the world generate, you know, just tree all the way into the, well, it could, yeah, why not right down to the bedrock? Not there, but anyways, you know what I mean, like, so the trees feel more rooted. Otherwise it's like, why don't these trees, well, I guess they keep each other sort of up, but yeah, I kind of like the idea that they're deeply rooted. Anyways, and here's another new biome to the game. This one I haven't really had much chance to look around in. As you can see, mossy stone generates here. Not sure what I think of that, because I've always believed that mossy stone should be kind of a sign of civilization, but I guess I can't say that's too bad of a thing if there's going to be mossy, because I mean forests have moss in them, that's for sure. So I mean, forests have stone, and forests have moss and stone. It's just, this is, I always thought of this cobblestone as kind of worked stone. Anyways, that's not too big of a deal. There's Podzol is what this is. We will have a look at it. Podzol, or Podzol. It's just a dirt block. I mean, there's not too much exciting about it. You can't, like, if you dig it up with a shovel, it just gives you normal dirt. Like, it doesn't give you the actual Podzol block, which is fine, I suppose. Personally, I could do without this block. Like, I don't think it's necessary, and I don't think it, like, I looked up Podzol on the internet, and I don't think this texture even looks like the pictures of Podzol that I saw. I think Podzol looks a little more like white and grayish than this. What this looks like to me is it looks like a forest floor that's actually like loamy, or needles or leaves or something, basically like rotting plant matter that's fallen off of trees, whether it's needles or leaves or something else. That's what that feels like to me. And Podzol is more of a lifeless kind of, I think it has to do with the amount of moisture and the amount of a certain kind of mineral in there. So yeah, I'm not feeling the Podzol. So if I mod the game, what I can do is basically, the good thing that this means is that I can reuse the block ID and for something else, and then after that I don't have to worry about so many block IDs changing. So I'm kind of happy about that. Just and I'll get rid of this, and like when I get to modding all of this will just be dirt and grass, or even actually, yeah, what it will be is it'll just be like plain old dirt. Like let me see, let's pick up some dirt. Clicky click, there it is. So I'll just, like, the whole floor will be this kind of dirt, and like the reason that that Jeb made Podzol the way it is basically he didn't want grass like to spread and to ruin the biome. But for me, like, if grass spreads onto here, that doesn't bother me too much. That's sort of like a natural effect on the world, and I'm kind of okay with that. So I'd probably just make the floor just straight up dirt, and if grass grows, so be it, right? That's my opinion on that. So big opinionated rant. Sorry about that. These trees, though, are absolutely beautiful. I love these trees. I think Jeb did a wonderful job on these trees. I certainly couldn't have done something this cool. And this forest, except for the dirt at the bottom, but this forest is quite beautiful. It looks very nice. Yeah, I mean, I quibble with a few. Oh, and here's some regular dirt here, and I'm wondering, let's actually grab some grass. Let's do that, because I heard a rumor that well, not a rumor, but basically the fact is that there's a kind of dirt in the game that that grass won't spawn onto. Just get rid of some of this stuff. It might be this kind, actually. Dirt that just stays dirt because it has a different ID. So there's one piece of grass in the middle. I don't know if there's a way to make this grass grow faster. Oh, I know. I'll just skip ahead. Alright, I just wanted to also test whether these guys will pick up pod soul blocks, and yep, that guy did, so apparently that's a possibility. Yeah, these grass, it's been, I don't know, it's been 10 minutes or so. One grass grew there, but it was because I actually, this was all that, and I deleted it. So I suspect that the dirt underneath the surface is normal, growable dirt. This patch didn't grow anything. This patch over here didn't grow anything. I placed those down myself. In the meantime, I did a control test, and this was, here, I'll just show you how it was before. It was just, it was a one grass block with 8 dirt blocks around it. And I just, you know, this one basically grew 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grass blocks spread here, none spread here, and none spread here. So I think I'm fairly confident. Yeah, see, again, it's spreading to the revealed dirt, but it doesn't spread to the dirt that was generated on top. Which again is probably a decision that I wouldn't have made, and I will probably attempt to reverse in modding, just because. But I was having fun, spawning some Endermen in here. I think Endermen go quite nicely in this. Oh, look, he's picked up a poppy. They go quite nicely in this forest, because this forest feels very creepy, I guess, or yeah, very Sasquatchy, I guess. Sasquatchy. And yeah, once again, I wish that these trees actually went into the ground, kind of like rooted. Excuse me. Yeah, and so on. And these mossy outcroppings look a little unnatural, but that's not so bad. Ooh, and some lava. Cool. You know what would be cool is if there was like hot springs. I don't know how you could do that, but if you could somehow do like water and make it like over top of lava, and the water would be like steamy and stuff and like hot. I don't know if that's possible even to do in Minecraft. We got some more actual grass in here. See, like, this is not bad. Oh, this is almost a... I should press the F3 button, see if this is named Mega Taiga Hills. Okay, and is this something different? River. I like that nice wide river. That's... Except I don't like all the chunks. The unloaded chunks. There. So, yeah, Mega Taiga. Oh, Mega Taiga is different from Mega Taiga Hills. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay. Mega Taiga Hills. And I guess it goes way up. Yeah, I should test. Let's turn off F3. I should test how high up we get snow. Do we get snow at the very top of this? We're above the clouds. I guess we're not going to get snow up here. Yeah, there's snow. There's the snow line. way up here. So yeah, it's not quite going to get snowy. Although yeah, I would have liked snow here. It's funny, this whole update. Well, maybe there's going to be some changes. Because yeah, like in this biome, I would like to see snow at the top. In other biomes, it's like, well, no, I don't want to. I don't want snow all the way up there. Oh, I see a creeper floating in the air. Okay, well, this is definitely beautiful if it would just load, but the parts that are loaded definitely look nice. The podzol's not really necessary, though. Not necessary. Okay, here's another bit of interesting terrain. Something that was already in the game, but this is I guess this is snowy plains. Well, we can check. Ice plains, anyways, close enough. And it generates this kind of tree now instead of the other kind. So that's cool. That's alright. Now I'm hoping to find like icy spikes. That was supposed to be a biome. I don't know. I don't know how common it is, so I might not find it. Ah, never mind. I found one right away. Spiky biome. Now this is one of those biomes that's like kind of fantasy, and like I don't think it really makes sense for the game. Like I don't like really ice spiky biomes. Like this is something I'm not aware of there being a real world equivalent to, like, giant spikes of ice like growing out of the ground. I mean, what is this even? Oh, actually it is rather large and kind of yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And then it's made out of, as a new block, it's made out of packed ice. And I guess the point of packed ice is that it doesn't melt or something like that. Packed ice sounds like something you put like fish in or something. Yeah, I can't say I'm the biggest fan of this particular biome, but on the other hand, I don't mind if there's a few, like, fantasy biomes. It's just, if we're gonna get fantasy biomes, I actually, I have a couple of submissions, but we can talk about those another time. Yeah, I mean, you could have like an evil castle in the middle of this ice spike. Oh, let's see what the name of it is. It is called, yes, I know it's called Ice Plains. Ice Plains Spikes, that's all it is. Yeah. Yeah, not the biggest fan. I like how there's like lava. Let's drop down here. Poof. Now is this? Yeah, the lava's just sitting on top of the packed ice. I guess packed ice, it doesn't care. It's like, what, lava? Never heard of it. And the other thing about, like, packed ice and stuff is I've heard of, scientifically, I've heard of, like, the type 1 through 5 or whatever. I mean, I'm probably getting that wrong, but there's different types of ice, deep underneath the Antarctic ice, because it gets, it's under so much pressure. But the thing about this ice is it's obviously on the surface, so it can't be under pressure. So I don't even know how it can be packed. And, like, what is even the mythology behind this? Sorry, I don't mean to, like, crap all over this this nice biome that Jeb made. I'm just trying to understand it, and, like, yeah. And I see we have, like, snow blocks generating randomly. That's kind of cool. So yeah, it's like a glacier biome. I guess probably what happened is he wanted to make a glacier biome, which is cool and all, but the fact is it's very boring because glaciers on their surface are very featureless, because it's ice and, if you're lucky, a little bit of rocks or something, or a meteor lands on the ice or something like that. So it's very featureless. So he probably made a glacier biome and was like, you know, this is boring, like there's nothing going on here. And he's like, well, how can I spice it up? And then this is what he came up with, you know. He's like, well, this will make it at least interesting. And, you know, I guess I'll agree with him. I guess, you know, wandering around on ground level, it's like, you know, you're playing survival, you're like, you know, wandering off of these plains. He's like, oh, can anything get more lifeless and barren than all of this? Like, oh, this is horrible. And then you come on this, and it's like, oh my God, like, what is this? So, you know, like, minus points for not being realistic, but plus points for being, like, interesting to you know, walk through and stuff, and, like, travel through and be like, and just explore and enjoy, because you never know what's going to be behind these. Obviously, there's going to be creepers and stuff. But, I mean, it's not perfect either, like, why can't you burn this, why can't you melt this ice and all that? So still, I guess I give this biome a B, maybe a B+. And I think I've visited all the biomes now. Let's fly out of this snowy one, because I want to find, oh, do you hear the bus going by in the background? Sorry about that. It's funny, when I'm not recording, I don't even hear that kind of thing. I don't hear the buses or the trucks or anything like that. Should I just fly into this little dried up riverbed? That's pretty good. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to actually look at, okay, so a couple new blocks. We've looked at Podzol, we've looked at packed ice. I wanted to look at some of the flowers in case I missed any. Well, I guess I'll just have a look at the tulips. Just to say, I don't see myself using these tulips very much at all. I guess, I mean, I don't mind that they're in the game. I don't mind that, like a lot of things that I've looked at today, I don't mind if it's in the game, but it's kind of like, you know, not for me. It's kind of like, yeah, whatever. Tulips, don't care. So tulips, we looked at azure bluets briefly. Here's a daisy. This flower I think I might get some use out of. I kind of like the fact that I've kind of always wanted sort of this daisy looking flower, so I probably will use a daisy. Mushrooms, yeah, we've always had mushrooms. The sunflower, I really feel like the sunflower could have been done better. I feel like it looks terrible from this side, and it looks medium to passable from this side. I think it does face the sun, or east, I should say, but it's at a little bit of an angle, which is fine. Oh, I see. Some of them are at slightly different angles. That's okay. That's an improvement over them all facing the same exact direction. But my thought on sunflowers has always been that, you know, especially for a game like Minecraft, you should make the flower part of it almost the whole block. You should make it, you know, just generally like giant, basically a vertical half slab full of sunflower, and make the back more interesting. Make the back at least have some kind of color or indication. And in fact, I probably, like, if I was making these, I probably wouldn't make them face all the same direction. I would, or at least maybe if they grow that way, I would have them, you know, naturally face one direction. But if a player places them, like if I wanted a sunflower to face me, like face that way, or you know, I would have it like that. So that's what I would do with sunflowers. I'm in favor of the idea of sunflowers. It's just I feel like, yeah, it could have been done better. This lilac, I like the idea. I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't even know how I'm gonna use that, but maybe I'll find a thing to do with it. We've looked at we've looked at both of these double tall grass, and we've seen some ferns. I mean, not too much to say about those. I guess I mean I'll say I like this double fern. I think it feels more ferny than the normal sized fern, because this normal sized fern just, it never felt really ferny. Yeah. But this double sized fern feels at least like, you know, like a fern. Anyways, moving on. The big rose bush, I think we looked at peonies. Yeah, nothing. Big rose bush, I could see myself like planting a row of these or something or whatever. My only problem with the big rose bush is that it takes the place of the original rose. Like there is no singular rose. Like you can't get a singular rose anymore. You get these poppies, which are a nice flower, but where's the rose? You know, where no rose. I mean, if you want a rose, you have to have this giant bush. Yeah, nothing wrong with a giant bush of roses, but not what I would prefer. And I think that does it for the and the fish. Let's do some fishing, shall we? Fish in this little river. Okay, you can see there's a few like little particles. I guess those are fish jumping or biting, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm just waiting. I should turn the rain on so that this would go a little bit faster. Oh, okay. I missed it completely. Did you see that there was, you know, ripples swimming up to my fishing lure, but you have to be patient. There we go. Okay, so I caught me a salmon. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of this sprite for salmon. I always think of salmon as being like really big fish, and they're not that much bigger. They even look a bit smaller than the normal fish, but yeah, it's alright. I think salmon is good. Well, anyways, I got tired of fishing, and I just grabbed the new fish out of the creative inventory. So I'm just gonna have a look at them. Let's see. There is there's a salmon, which we've already kind of looked at. There's a puffer fish. Let's kind of see how close up we can get to it. Yeah, that's a puffer fish. Yeah, not the biggest fan of the puffer fish. Also, like it makes water breathing potions, which I kind of thought you should just, if there's something in like sort of the literature already, you should just use what's already existing. So in my opinion, it should just be gillyweed. And you know, it'd be kind of cool if you could fish up gillyweed, like if it wasn't harvestable but it was fishable. So I might simply do a retexture and renaming in the language file, and I might just make this, instead of a fish, just be a gillyweed, and then just leave it at that. Yes. And then clownfish. Honestly, like, clownfish as a fish you catch, to me doesn't make a lot of sense, because I don't see, like, that doesn't happen sort of in, you know, IRL, in real life. Clownfish are a fish that you see like swimming around the coral reefs or whatever, and you don't really catch, like, you know, on fishing rods. So I sort of feel like if they were going to add clownfish to the game, the way they ought to do that is first add coral reefs into the oceans, and then have the clownfish like as maybe a particle effect, or even a little like you know, like the bat, like an aesthetic mob. Here, let's grab a whole bunch of these just for fun, and we'll just throw them about. I don't know why I'm doing that. Have them swimming around. Yeah, you can almost imagine the grass as being coral, and have the fish kind of swim around it like that. And yeah, what is it again? It is, yeah, it's a clownfish. That's what I thought. So it's a very pretty fish, but I don't think it fits as something that you should be able to catch. Like, that seems wrong. But I mean, you know, Minecraft is full of things that are kind of off and kind of just don't really make sense. So not a huge complaint, just sort of not the way I would have done it. I would have saved clownfish for particle effects in, like, or even if you did like sea anemones in the ocean or something. But I guess I'm kind of rambling along. That has been my look at the newest snapshot. As soon as it comes out as an official version, and then, you know, Minecraft Coders Pack is will be, you know, it becomes updated. Time. When that happens, because I'm not a good enough coder to be able to deobfuscate and find out what all this coding is on my own, I have to wait for the next level of experts. Obviously Mojang doesn't give out the source code, so I have to, not those experts, but the next level of experts, the experts at Minecraft Coders Pack. They have to give me the tools that I need to, you know, and I'm not the greatest modder, but after that I will probably do a lot of tweaking with this new, with all the new stuff, and some of it I'm just going to flat out take out. Some of it I just don't care for, so it's just going to be, yeah, I can delete that, and I'll reuse some of the block IDs for some of my other blocks, and, you know, there's always new stuff to add, so kind of I'll be working on my own version of Minecraft. So yeah, with that, that's been it's been a peek at the new version. You won't see on my channel, you probably won't see much more of this snapshot stuff unless there's something like really exciting I want to just play with. You'll see more of me going back to 1.6 and my particular mods that I have designed specifically for that version. So this is the last of the snapshot that you'll see. But I was excited by a lot of it, and I hope that wasn't too negative also. Like, I mean, there was definitely things that I didn't like, but I think if you count up everything in the new, in this snapshot, if you count up everything, I think you'll find that I'm in favor of the majority of it. Most of the stuff that Jeb added, I'm quite happy with, and some of the stuff is very very cool, and it's like a big deal. Some of the stuff that I like, and some of the stuff that I don't like is really not that big of a deal, and it's stuff that I'm going to be able to change on my own anyways. So there you have it. Really is the end. Thank you for watching, and yeah, cool. Okay.